and your esteemed delegation. The Chief Executive Officer, Chairman, and delegation from Total Français, the President and delegation from Sinuk, China, honorable ministers, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, Samia Hassan, and your distinguished delegation, you are most welcome to your brother country of Uganda. Again, condolences on account of the death recently of our brother, His Excellency Magufuli. Also, congratulations on your inauguration as President of the United Republic of Tanzania. Thank you for responding to my invitation to join us and the Total Company of France and the Sinuk Company of China to sign the agreement of the East African pipeline from Hoima to Tanga. Your brother country of Uganda discovered petroleum and gas in 2006. It has taken these 15 years before the first oil on account of the divergent perceptions between us and the oil companies. Initially, I did not favor the idea of pipeline. My question was, why export the oil? Don't the East Africans need the oil? In this thinking, I preferred an oil refinery only, so that we use the extractable oil out of the 6.5 billion barrels confirmed in only 20% of the potential area in the Mwitanzige and Butumbi valleys, known as the Albertine Graben by foreigners, satisfy the demand for the refined products for Uganda, northwestern Tanzania, western Kenya, Rwanda, Burundi, eastern Congo, South Sudan, and southwestern Ethiopia, with cheaper products on account of the lower transport costs. The demand in this zone is now 98,000 barrels per day. Uganda's demand is currently 39,000 barrels per day. At the price of $50 per barrel, equivalent to about $63 barrel for refined products, this locally refined petroleum would knock off $1.22 billion from Uganda's import expenditure for petrol, diesel, aviation fuel, and tar for the roads. If you include the petroleum byproducts, such as plastics, the saving on the import bill will add another $400 million. So that would make it almost $1.7 billion saving on imports. Using the extractable portion of the 6.5 billion barrels confirmed, this would ensure petroleum self-sufficiency for the Lake Victoria Basin countries and those neighboring them for a period of 38 years based on the present consumption levels. This oil refinery would be owned jointly by the East African countries if they agreed to participate. So that was my original plan. Why pipeline? Why export the oil? I had a rumor that there were human beings here who need the oil. Why do you take it away from them and you take it to others? Why don't they deal with the self-sufficiency? The oil companies, however, were biased in favor of exporting crude oil only. For them, chukua nje. Kwangu, bakisha hapa ndani. The compromise then was, okay, let us have both, the refinery and the pipeline. So that's why we are here now. Most of this was when the Tanzanian route was not in the picture. We were still debating about Mombasa and Lamu of Kenya. When the Tanzanian route of Tanga became more viable, a new consideration entered my mind: the historical role of Tanzania in the liberation of Uganda in both 1978-79 and 1985-86. On these two occasions, Mwalimu Nyerere played a very important role. In the 1978-79 war, TPDF played the major role in removing Idi Amin from power. In 1985-86, Mwalimu Nyerere gave us 5,000 rifles at the right time, just before the assault on Kampala, starting on the 17th of January, 1986. Kenya, of course, is a brother country, just like Tanzania. However, historically, there is this unique role of Tanzania. I'm therefore most satisfied that the project will make a modest contribution to the development of Tanzania. It cannot compensate for the huge sacrifice Tanzania made for the defeat of Idi Amin and the liberation of the whole of Southern Africa, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Angola, Namibia, and South Africa. It is just a modest contribution. Moreover, this pipeline project can be a core of bigger developments if the brothers in Congo and South Sudan choose to also use it for their oil. At the maximum, it can carry 230,000 barrels per day. Besides, the same corridor can take a return gas pipeline supplying Tanzanian and Mozambican gas to Uganda and the Great Lakes region. We can have a return, using that corridor, a return gas pipeline, because we need gas here. We need gas for iron ore. We've got iron ore, but processing it is, we don't have enough gas. We have some gas, but it's not enough. And the Ugandans, I think they are also getting a bit modernized. Cooking with firewood is not a good idea. So gas from Mozambique, from Tanzania. Our brother countries have got a lot of gas. Songo Zamani, I think that was the first one, Songo 1968. I salute the government of Tanzania for the tax concessions they made to keep the tariff paid by the owners of the oil to be limited to $12.77 per barrel. Recently, Uganda also made concessions regarding the land and export charges. This will in effect push the tariff to US $13.03 per barrel, just a little bit up. The Lamu route was proposing US $15.8 per barrel as tariff. All this is on account of the extractable portion of the 6.5 billion barrels confirmed and licensed for production, as already pointed out. This is, however, only 20% of the Mwitanzige-Butumbi Basin, known to foreigners as the Albertine Graben. There is a high chance for more oil and gas to be found in the remaining 80% of the oil province, especially in the Mwitanzige area, such as Kibiro, Butiaba, etc. Then there is a totally new hydrocarbon zone in the northeast of the country, in the Mount Kadam Basin. There are oil seepages on the surface. There are source rocks. There are reservoir rocks. And there are also trap rocks, accumulation rocks, that have been seen by our experts. This petroleum, as Kasande was saying, the PS, was actually discovered by our experts. What he was telling you in 1986, when Shell came to see me to give me a license, I asked a question. Is there anybody who knows anything about oil in Uganda? There was nobody. They brought me a Ghanaian from Bank of Uganda, who was an economist, and his only knowledge of petroleum was that he was handling the import papers of petroleum products. So I said I cannot sign an agreement with ignorance on my side. So that's when I told the minister to pick these young people who had degrees in chemistry, degrees in physics, degrees in geology, to go for masters in petroleum studies in Imperial College London, University of Aberdeen, and so on. So they went, and they came back in 1989. When they came back, I called Shell. You come back. I'm now ready to negotiate. Shell had abandoned me. They said, no, we are no longer interested. Why? Because the Soviet Union had now opened up. There was a lot of oil in the Soviet Union, so Shell had opportunistically abandoned me. So I said, okay, doesn't matter. We shall look for the oil ourselves. So these are the people who looked for the oil and saw it through aeromagnetic, through seismological, through gravity, something. Then it now remained to drill and confirm. That's how the oil companies came in. They came in to drill, but to drill for what we already knew, to confirm. So I congratulate that team. How many of you are here? Stand up and they see you, the whole group, the ones who are here. But you come here. You join a group here. Our one of us is Rikro. Anybody useful? If you are not useful, don't come, please. I'll stand up, all of you together now. And they capture you. These are just, how big is your group now? How big is your group? Yes. These are degree holders. Degree holders. So that's how they created a petroleum unit in the Ministry of Energy. These are very highly qualified people. They know more about the oil than even the oil companies. Thank you very much. So there is that new province, the Karamoja zone. If the brother countries work together, there is then the oil in Congo and South Sudan. This pipeline could turn out to be a very important project that may serve the region, not only in the short term, but also in the medium, if not the long term. This project should, in addition to what we have said, serve to awaken all Africans that prosperity and strategic security are only possible if we use the Pan-Africanist approach that gives us a bigger market and rationalizes economic linkages. I cannot end these brief remarks without thanking Her Excellency Samia Hassan for indulging my sentimental request of conducting this signing ceremony on the 11th of April 2021. Munkumiro mungalo bonna. Engalo mbadde ki muli bakoddo. 42 years ago, this same day is when the Tanzanian troops of 20th Division captured Kampala and enabled the Ugandan army officer, Oito Jog, to announce the fall of Idi Amin and ready Uganda, this very day. At that very moment, with my rapidly growing Fronosa troops operating with another TPDF division, the Task Force Division under Major General Cyrus Mayunga, I was on the Mbarara front. 20th Division was under General Musuguri. Musuguri, not Munguri. This one who wrote. The name is Musuguri. Today, therefore, is a triple victory for Tanzania and Uganda. Ushindi wa mara tatu. Number one, military, kukumbuka. Number two, political, because military could not go without political cooperation with Mwalimu. And number three, now economic. Long live Tanzania, long live Uganda, long live President Hassan. Imekwenda wapi? Yuko hapa. My last page had got this. I thank Your Excellency and your delegation for coming to this function. I also salute the people of Tanzania for agreeing to host the project. Mungu ebariki Uganda, ebariki Tanzania, ebariki Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency President Museveni, for both incisive and historical speech on this special occasion. May I now request that their Excellencies sign the joint communique